Hey everybody, Mark Zachary, Next Step Home Loans. Hope you're doing well. I get a lot of questions on, Mark, what are the required documents for a pre-approval once we have applied for a mortgage. So I wanted to go over those documents with you real quickly. But the first one is going to be your pay stubs. We need to document the income that was placed on the application. So we're going to need to see your last 30 days worth of pay stubs. Last 30 days, so if you're getting paid twice a month, we just need 30 full days of pay stubs. In regards to assets, we need to know where the funds are that you're going to be using to purchase the house. So we're going to need 60 days, your last 2 months bank statements for any checking or savings accounts that you have. If you're going to be using a 401k or something like that, we're going to need the last quarterly statement for that type of asset account. And then we're going to need your last 2 years tax returns. So whatever you guys have in regards to tax returns, we're going to need those. It's super important that you've filed your tax returns. If you haven't filed tax returns, then you're not going to be able to get a conventional or FHA or VA mortgage. So we have to have tax returns. Some programs only require 1 year. Some require 2, so we just get 2 up front so we don't have to come back and ask later for some additional documentation. We're going to need the last 2 years W-2s as well. So if you've had 3 jobs during the last 2 years, we're going to need W-2s from each one of those jobs. If you are a 1099 employee, we're going to need those 1099s. And back on the tax returns, we need the full tax returns, all pages, all schedules, not just the front page. So, anyway, on the 1099, make sure you give us those so we can document the self-employment income. And then it's super important that you have your driver's license for the process as well. Make sure that it is a valid driver's license. It's not expired. I've heard some horror stories before where people go to closing and their license is expired, and so now they have to go get them renewed. You have to have your birth certificate, so if you can't find your birth certificate, then you have to get it from the place you were born. I mean, it can be a mess, so prepare for that now. Make sure that your license is valid and that it will be valid at the time that you close. So a few other things that come out of our underwriting from time to time is a divorce decree. If you are divorced, we're going to need to see the complete divorce decree to document any child support or alimony that you may receive or have to pay. So make sure you get that put together. Also, any bankruptcy papers. If you've declared bankruptcy in the past 7 years, we're going to need the full bankruptcy papers from that. In regards to new employment, if you have an offer for a new place of employment, we're going to need a copy of the offer letter. And that will need to be signed by the HR department, and it'll also need to be signed by you. So make sure you're working on that if you are actually starting a new employment. Now, there's also things like letters of explanations, like large deposits that are showing up in your bank account that are not normal payroll deposits. Be prepared to write a letter of explanation on where those funds came from and document the source of those funds. So that's one letter of explanation. Another one would be a letter of explanation on a gap of employment. Maybe you had job A and then you went to job B, but there was a 2 or 3 month gap between those, the finish date and the start date. You're going to need to write a letter of explanation on what was going on during that time. So anyway, hopefully that helps you understand what is required up front to get you pre-qualified and pre-approved. We try to make this process as easy as we can on you and collect as much of this information up front as we can. And we're a mortgage broker. We get to work with some of the top wholesale lenders in the country, and we get some very good rates and very good closing costs. So if there's anything we can do for you, certainly give us a call, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you've got about the process and help you walk through it. So have a great day. Let us know if we can help with anything, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.